Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Real Film Nerds Podcast, episode number 236. My name is Candyman, your host, and with me, as always, the other Candyman, mysterious Candyman talent.
Matt, so are you handing out razor blades with the candy this Halloween? Is that how you celebrate the ending of COVID?
Kids aren't allowed anywhere near my home, Mike, so I don't hand out candy.
Oh, you don't do the... Are there trick-or-treaters in your neighborhood, Matt? I mean, it could be fun, you know?
No, trick-or-treaters do not come to my neighborhood. All the trick-or-treaters in Prescott go to Mount Vernon like they're supposed to.
Okay, all right, well... Anyway, in my neck of the woods, it's fun. It's fun to hand out candy, man.
So you hand out lots of razor blade candies? That's terrible, Mike. How dare you?
No, not razor blade candies, just normal candies. I would love to be, the full candy bar guy, but I just don't have the funds, man. There's so many trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, right. You're a big baller. You should be the full candy bar bag guy. So, give every single kid a bag of full candy bars.
So they just roll up in the house and I just give them a bag instead of them getting, some candy in their bag?
Right. You just give them 15 full-size candy bars.
Now, should I take their bag and just exchange it kind of thing? No, that's mine now.
Well, if you want. Or are you going to be one of the evil people that will give them toothbrushes instead?
The evil people? Are those the evil people? Not the people giving razor blades. It's the toothbrush people.
No, because the razor blades usually still have candy.
Okay, all right, gotcha. So, people giving out the, fruits or apples or anything, that's terrible too, right?
Yeah, that's just as bad. Yeah. Although, the benefit of a toothbrush over an apple or an orange or a carrot or whatever the hell else people give away, you could turn that toothbrush into a shank.
And go after the person who gave it to you and be like, I want my revenge.
Or when you go to jail.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm pretty sure you would have a hard time getting that through jail, but, somehow there's all this stuff in jail, so somebody gets stuff in somewhere, and we all know where it usually is, so we don't need to talk about it, Matt.
Yeah, you just got to have a big keister pocket.
Yes. Yeah, big keister pocket is right. All right, Matt. I think it's time. We've diverged enough. Let's talk about this excellent movie, Candyman, a spiritual sequel to the original.
So, Mike, are you talking about the horrible garbage that is Candyman 2021 for Real Film Nerds episode number 236 that you're going to give a rundown to?
Yes, I am talking about that movie, and Matt, I actually genuinely like this movie quite a bit, so I guess we're going to have another fun one, another big disagreement on the nerds on what movies do what. So get ready, everybody. Matt, so are you ready for the rundown right now, Matt?
Of course, Mike. I'm anxiously awaiting the words coming out of your mouth for the rundown of Candyman 2021.
All right, so Candyman 2021 is directed by Nia DaCosta, written by Jordan Peele, Wynn Rosenfield. Screenplay was Nia DaCosta, and this movie is starring, I'm going to screw this name up, Yahya Abdul Mateen II, or Yahya Abdul Mateen II, I think. And Teyana Paris, Nathan Stewart Jarrett, and Coleman Domingo. Well, the IMDb says it's a sequel to the horror film Candyman 1992 that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began, Cabrini Green.
Go ahead, Mike. You're anxiously wanting to talk about this movie that you're going to give 5 out of 5 reels to.
So, Matt, I really like this movie. I thought it was a good, fresh look at the original movie. And I like the way that pretty much everything was done in this. I like the little, shadow puppet characters and some different things that they did. I don't know, man. I had fun watching this movie. I thought it was well done. I like the gentrified thing because that's a real problem. And it was interesting to see how they kind of bake that in there. I mean, I guess it's a problem, not problem, depends on who's looking at it. And it was just, I don't know. I think part of it is, Matt, I really want it to be fall. And this is like a little early, like the pumpkin beers have already started to come out. And this is like an early horror movie that started to come out. That's kind of long. And so it's getting me ready. I really like the horror movies in October. We got our Harvest Horror Fest coming up. So I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, man.
Mike, you're going to have to pick movies for the Harvest Horror Fest. There's a bunch coming out in the theaters, too, that we're probably going to have to watch, which is lovely because I have so much time to go to the movie theaters now.
Yeah, you love it, right? Like, how was the theater experience for this one, Matt?
It was empty. There was no one at the theater, and I agree with them.
You just really didn't like this movie, man.
It was boring. It was very boring.
All right.
Mike, I fell asleep.
Did you really?
Yes. No, I never fall asleep during movies, but I damn well should have. It was very boring. I mean, there was a lot of expose and, okay, explain this to me. Why do they have to keep telling us who the Candyman is over and over and over and over? We got it the first time.
Oh, I think that's to reintroduce it to the new generation. So, Matt, imagine all the people that haven't seen the 1992's.
Okay, so you're misinterpreting me. I'm talking about the beginning of the movie. They clearly explain who the Candyman is. And then they explain it about 3 or 4 more times throughout the film. At least.
Oh. I think it was just to have the characters talking about it, to just have something to talk about. I don't know, man. You're right. They do in the movie. They re-explain it at least 3 times.
It's an hour and a half long movie, and 30 minutes of it is just telling you who the Candyman is. That's wasted time. Now, don't get me wrong. There are things I do like about this film. I like the cinematography. I like the shadow stick puppet characters that they use for telling the story, especially in the end credits. That was really neat. But overall, this movie was very boring, and it dragged, and it seemed a whole hell of a lot longer than an hour and a half to me.
Matt, you're entitled to your opinion, but I liked it. I thought it was a unique look and an interesting reintroduction into the Candyman world, and I thought it was fun, man. I liked it. I don't know.
Dude, it took forever for them to finally kill someone, and they killed some people, and then they take a whole nother hour, and then they kill more people, and then they take a whole nother hour and they kill more people. One thing I did like, though, is how you never really see the Candyman, during the murderings. You just see him in reflections and stuff. But where else they did that was a film that we were going to review this year. I went and saw it in the theaters, and you never got around to it because of the vid. Oh, actually, it was last year. Was The Invisible Man. It was very reminiscent of The Invisible Man.
No, I didn't get around to seeing that, and I should see it, Matt.
I don't know what it's on now, but that was a really good movie.
I did like the way that they kind of shot some of the sequences, which we shouldn't talk about quite yet because of the spoilers. But I can go ahead and ask you, Matt, what are you drinking this fine evening, morning, afternoon, daybreak?
Well, Mike, I'm drinking at daybreak, and I'm drinking a Michelob Ultra because it is a great morning beer.
Yeah, just a little bit of that in your Cheerios really gets you going.
No. The beer goes in the coffee pot. You heat it up, add some French vanilla creamer, and then you kick it down. It's like your morning coffee.
Okay. All right. I gotcha. I, in the spirit of fall and this movie, am drinking something called Pumpkin. It's an imperial pumpkin ale. And, I'm just roaring to go. Fall's kind of in the air because there's PSLs and all kinds of things. And Matt, for people who don't drink Starbucks, that's pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, I don't drink. I don't go to the Bucks.
Well, yeah, dude. I didn't think you had $10 to get a coffee.
I don't. I can't spend that on a meal. I mean, I spend $5. The McChickens are $1 each. I can get 5 of them, and that's a good lunch. It's a little
That is
spicy,
a good lunch.
but
Yeah, no, that's a great lunch, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Are you adhering to the rules that you are going to drink a pumpkin beer every week from here on out instead of IPAs? Because there's clearly only 2 beers you drink. You drink pumpkin, and you drink IPAs.
I drink something every once in a while that's not one of those, but
Yeah, a pumpkin IPA.
Yes, you're right, Matt. For the majority of my the pods, it's an IPA or it's a pumpkin. But hey, that's okay. You know what I like, and that I drink it.
I'm just surprised you're not more bitter, because with all that bitterness going into you, you would think it would come back out, but clearly it doesn't.
You're right, man. Often I feel like it doesn't make me a bitter person, and that's a good thing.
Well, maybe you're not drinking enough IPAs then.
Maybe I'm not. Time will tell.
And then I'm drinking too many.
Yeah, you don't ever drink them, but that's one too many, right?
Yes, because I'm way, way too bitter as it is. So if I start adding in the bitterness, Mike, I wouldn't know if we would still have a podcast, because it wouldn't be the Real Film Nerds. It would be Matt's rants of bitterness and anger and hatred.
Yeah, but Matt, wouldn't 2 bitters equal a positive, like a upper?
I don't know if it works like that, Mike. So it would be the bitter of the beer, and my bitter soul would make me angelic.
Sure, we'll go with angelic. The Candyman over there, you heard it.
Yep. Candyman.
He's angelic.
Okay, Mike. All right, fine. I'll stop digging around. Mike, how does the Candyman that I don't like relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Wait, Matt.
What?
Did you tell me your beer that you're drinking?
I did. I said I was drinking a Michelob Ultra.
Oh, yeah, you did. All right.
You asked me the question in the first place.
I did. All right. Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Hold on.
go.
How many pumpkin ales have you had, Mike?
Enough.
Clearly enough, yes. Okay, Mike. So let me do it again. How does Candyman 2021 relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. So this one was a little bit difficult. Once again, this movie doesn't have a huge cast, and I had to search down the deep, dark IMDb rabbit holes. But what I came out with was Kevin Carter worked on Captain Marvel as a contact lens painter, and also worked on this movie as a contact lens painter. So it's an interesting job. He was under the art directors, so it's kind of cool job, different.
Is that like on the IMDb's like contact lens painter?
Yes.
That really sounds like it should be in the category of like pubic hairstylist.
Jeez, man. I hope. Come on, that's all right. That's an all right job, right?
Or fluffer.
I mean, yeah, I guess. you couldn't let it go, huh?
I couldn't
It's
let
a fine
go.
job.
What?
It's a fine job.
What?
It's a fine job, man. The contact lens painter. You think it's pubic hairstylist? That's not cool.
Well, Mike, I mean, it's just a really random job. Like, yeah, what do you do for a living? I paint contacts for Hollywood stars. You don't paint anything else? Nope, just contacts. You don't paint like sets? Nope, contacts. That's it. We got blue ones and green ones and red ones, yellow ones for the Star Wars.
Hey, man. I'll look him up, see if he's on your Star Wars. If he's on the Wars, you'll be a better fan.
How many contact lens painters can there be? I mean, I'm sure it's not a really high in demand, profession.
Well, you've got to wonder, man, how do you even get into that? Yeah, like one day I was just painting my eyeball and it's like, wait a second.
Well, clearly you go to the Art Institute for contact lenses, and you take an extensive hardcore curricular that takes 15 years, and then you have a doctorate in painting contact lenses, and then you can go work in Hollywood painting contact lenses.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the path, I better get on it.
All right. For those of you who are professional contact lens painters, please send all your complaints to Mike@realfilmnerds.com.
No. That's Matt at realfilmnerds.com.
All right, Mike, let's move on. I think I've made enough funnies out of contact lens painters. I can't believe that's a job.
Well, Matt, yeah, I mean, come on, man. You were ripping on this movie before the pod started, and you said you've taken turds that were better than this movie.
I have. I've had some very enjoyable turds in my life, like most people. I've had some as long as this movie too, and I mean I don't recommend those.
Oh man, hour and a half turd. That's a
yeah. I need more
like
fiber.
You blew out I feel like you blew a gasket or something, right?
I blew something. Okay, Mike, this is getting really silly. We got to stop this. Mike, go ahead. Spoil your favorite movie of the year, Candyman 2021. Go ahead.
All right. I liked...
this time without coughing.
I liked the way that some of the murders were done in this movie, where it was like, there's this one pullback shot from the hotel or apartment where, you've kind of at a distance in about center frame, but it's still kind of small. And then you see this person kind of walking around, and then all of a sudden they're like floating and then getting their throat slit. I thought that was great. I thought it was cool how that was done.
You're talking about the murdering of the art critic.
Yes.
Yes, that was a well done shot. But again, it took a whole 3 hours to get to that second murder of the art critic from the first one.
All right. You're correct, man. It was a while before it happened again.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had to explain who the Candyman was again.
You're right. There was some of that. I don't know. It didn't detract from the movie, in my opinion. And I don't know. I thought it was cool, man. I thought the flow of the movie was pretty good. I didn't feel it was as boring as you did. I don't know. Maybe it was just... I don't know. Maybe it's just the day I went and how I was feeling at that moment. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. It was boring and arduous to me, but I keep talking about that. So let's talk about the real spoiler that everyone's talking about, the return of Tony Todd at the very end of the movie. I was really hoping he was going to be in it, like more than just at the very end.
I was surprised that he was in it, and I thought it was kind of cool.
No, I thought it was great, but I wish he would have been in it more, because like the Candyman that kept popping up was not Tony Todd. It was a different actor.
Yes, that's true.
So
it was.
And they explained that was the most recent Candyman, but I thought Tony Todd was the most recent. I didn't understand that.
I think it was just a kind of a fun cameo, honestly, Matt.
Well, dude, he has the voice for it, man. And he was, I don't know, he was just fantastic in the original. He really was. And I like that they went into the backstory of the other Candymen, explaining that this is a thing that's been passed on generation by generation, that it's always persecuted men, black men specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this movie definitely brings up some interesting social points, like the original Candyman. This one was talking more about the gentrification of the Caprini Green neighborhood, and then also some, constant, I guess, how I don't know, the easiest way to say it's like the Black Lives Matter stuff with the police relations and African Americans.
Well, did you find it interesting how when they kill the new Candyman or turn him into the new Candyman, the police come in and gun him down and they don't show it like at all?
Yes. Yeah, they didn't show it at all. They just let us imagine it, and that's easier than it should be.
Well, they let us know it happened because you heard the gunshots. And then they say, you know, oh my God, you killed him, you know, kind of thing. But you never see it. I thought that was an interesting take on the murdering or the creation of the new Candyman.
Yeah. No, that was a creative way to do it, and it's through the kid's eye who just got some candy and was just trying to do his laundry. Although, I mean, it's super creepy that some guy just comes out of the wall. I will, admit that.
Okay, so you're getting mixed up. I'm talking about the end, the new Candyman.
Oh, the end
of the movie.
Part of it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're getting mixed up. That is creepy that he came out of the wall. I'm talking about the main character who becomes the new Candyman and how they murdered him in cold blood. He literally wasn't moving. He was just lying there because he was either in shock or unconscious because of a spell or something that Colin Domingo put on there or whatever. But they never showed him being murdered. But yes, that's true. The Candyman from the 70s, I believe it was 77, the dude that had the hook for the hand, came out of the wall, and they don't show him dying either. They show the aftermath. They show like blood and stuff, but they don't show him actually being beat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of goes along with the not showing like the Candyman doing his murders.
Yeah, I guess it's an overall theme of this movie, and I don't know. I don't think it took away from the movie. You still got the idea of what was happening, and you either heard it or you were led to know what happened just by the characters later on saying, "Oh, did you hear this person was murdered or whatever?"
Yes, correct. But I'm just saying it's an interesting aspect of the film. It's a clear choice that they did not show the black men being murdered.
Yeah, and then the one scene was kind of intense, Matt, right before our new Candyman is kind of becoming the new Candyman, when the guy cuts off his hand.
Oh, dude, that was brutal. Yeah, he cuts off his whole arm. That was brutal.
What is he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Well, I have to applaud him for the makeup on that because, I mean, that bee sting that turned into basically a giant tumor, I don't know how else to describe it, slowly eating him away and changing him was horrific. I mean, it looked extremely realistic. It was freaky.
It did look really realistic, and it was very well done. I kind of felt like part of the slow part of the movie is getting you into understanding what's going on with him and how he's just falling apart and, like, I don't know, just becoming more and more the Candyman.
Now, what about the big twist and almost the Shamalama Ding Dong twist that the main character was the baby from the original Candyman?
I liked it, Matt. I liked it. I didn't see it coming for once. I really didn't see it coming because it seemed like it was kind of a sequel, but not a sequel. I feel like it tried to keep the story that was in the first one and just build upon it. But I did not see that coming, Matt. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it at all, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the film because it kind of blindsided me because I didn't think they were going to tie it so direct into this film, and it worked. It worked really well. I mean, I don't say I wish they would have introduced it sooner, but I wish they might have capitalized on it a little bit more. I think that might have made it a better film.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really find out until our character goes to the hospital to get treated for said bee sting, where they're like, "Oh, it's nice to see you back." He's like, "Back? I wasn't." "What do you mean?" "Yeah, you were born here." "What?" "No, wait a second. And then he goes and talks to his mom. I like that. I thought that was cool.
I also wish there was a little bit more of the gentrification talk. There was quite a bit, but I wish there would have been a little bit more. That would have helped. And then also, I mean, the biggest gripe is just they keep telling you who the Candyman is over and over and over. We get it. We get it. You told us in the beginning of the movie who he was. So, I don't know. Mike, anything else you want to add?
I love the art piece that was in the beginning, kind of in the beginning-ish part of when there's a show that his significant other, I think his girlfriend, is hosting, and he needs to put in a piece, and he puts a mirror in, and then just says the thing about the Candyman. I was like, is that really art?
Oh, dude. Okay, so
I was like, that was interesting.
No, I thought that piece was very, very good. So it's not his girlfriend's show. His girlfriend works at the gallery. See, being a person that's had to do this shit.
Oh, okay. All right. Break it down, man.
The curator of the show was the dude that was murdered with his girlfriend while looking at the piece. And if you remember, Mike, the mirror is only one portion of the entire piece. When you open up the mirror, inside of the mirror is like a shed or like a little room with a bunch of pieces of horrific imagery of the Candyman and different things of the Candyman. And so that's why it was a very strong piece, if you ask me, because as you see in the film, there's a college student there clearly doing a thesis or something or looking at the art. She looks at the note that says, "Say my name 5 times," looks at the mirror, looks at the note, and then walks away. Where the art critic, who's trained in, art and all these other things, realizes that it's an interactive piece, walks up and opens the mirror, and there's everything in the back.
Gotcha.
And it's real interesting because later on we get that reference to the college kids in the bathroom later where they're saying Candyman all together.
Oh, yeah. That was some of the murders, Matt. Some of that stuff you were looking for.
I wasn't looking for murders, Mike. I'm just saying it needs to... For a horror movie, I mean, there's really high highs and really low lows. There's no, consistency of a horror movie like you're used to. I just don't think it worked.
Well, I like that it didn't have all the jump scare stuff, and it didn't try to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jump scares are cheesy. I'm not a fan of that.
So I felt it was more of like a psychological build-up. Like as the bee sting is getting worse and worse, you're kind of falling into this trance of whatever's going on with this character. At least I was, and that's why I liked it.
Oh, no, dude. It's still a hardcore slasher.
Okay, man.
Well, think about it. The first 2 murders, I mean, he blatantly cuts open their throats and you see the blood spurting out and going everywhere. I mean, it's a slasher.
All right, man. It's still a slasher.
Yeah, damn right it
is. It was different. It was a much different look, and I think that's why I liked it so much, man. It was just a different approach to the slasher movie, and
no,
I liked some of the topics that they were dealing with. It was more realistic.
No, you love horror movies. That's all it is.
Okay. All right. I don't like every horror movie, though,
I mean, not everything is a masterpiece like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That's true. It's true. Matt, what is the one that we have to watch? The silly time murder? Or what is the one that you got for us to get for the next Harvest Horror Fest?
Yeah, I got to look into it. I forgot the name of it, but I watched the one with Nicolas Cage in it. Didn't I talk about it on the pod? I don't know if I talked about it.
I think you said you were going to try and watch the one with Nicolas Cage. Was it good?
Oh, no, dude. It was so bad. It's on Hulu. For those of you who have Hulu, I don't know if it's still on there, but it was on Hulu when I watched it. And it's the same as this movie that I purchased for like $2, except for this one with Nicolas Cage was atrocious. He's the only person you'll recognize in the entire movie. It looks like a B movie. Nicolas Cage literally does not say one word because I think they couldn't afford him to say a word. He's dead silent the entire movie.
So wait. He never says a
Not
word?
one word through the entire frickin' movie. I think it's
Well,
called...
that definitely means they didn't have to pay him that much.
Right. So I think it's called like Willy's Wonderland or something like that. Wally's Wonderland. I don't know. It's a bunch of animatronic creatures that kill people. And Nicolas Cage kills them back, I guess is a nice way to put it. And it was just... I don't know, dude. It was not good at all. I do not recommend that. I definitely don't want to do it for Harvest Horror Fest.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So, okay, Mike, how many reels do you give Candyman 2021?
All right, Matt. So this one's going to be shocking to you, but I give this 4 reels out of 5.
No, when you said you like it, I know you're going to give it a high rating. I figured you were going to give it a 4.5 or a 5 because you love horror movies.
I do. I really do love horror movies. And this one was fun to me, Matt. Which reminds me, Matt, maybe we should do that one crazy horror movie that I watched. It's called Revenge. It was like Italian or something. And I told you to watch it, and then you couldn't watch it, and it was on Amazon, and then it wasn't. And dude,
well, what's it
we
on
should do
then?
that one.
'Cause I'm not
I
gonna
don't
pay
know what
for
it's on
it.
now. Yeah, it was a great movie. I want you to watch that one. But it's a revenge horror movie. Whew.
So it is a horror movie. I know it's a revenge movie, but I didn't know it was a horror movie. We need to discuss our Harvest Horror Fest, Mike, not on the podcast, so we can start planning out films. Because we need to start getting that going, because it is almost September.
It's true. We do need to get that going, Matt. I'll work on it.
Actually, when this podcast airs, it will be September. Because it'll be September 1st.
Man, time's a flying, Matt. My new baby is inborn or inbound. Whew.
Dude,
Crazy
I'm
times.
still upset. Stop reminding me. So now I'm going to sit at home with a bottle of booze for my 40th birthday and cry into it. That sounds like that sounds like
that doesn't sound
one of my last
fun.
birthdays.
Well, maybe I can get you some Blantons.
That would be nice. That would be nice. I would not drink all that in one night because that's a good drink. Now
That'd be your happy tears.
Yeah, the bottle of Crown I got over here, I would drink in one night though. Although Crown's pretty good too.
Yeah, Crown's pretty good.
All right, Mike. So I give this movie not a good rating. I give it 2.5 reels. I did not like it. I do not think people should watch this.
Okay, that's fine, man. I definitely recommend people watch this movie. I don't know if you need to see it in the theater, but I think you should go watch it, especially if you like the first Candyman. It is, I think I heard somebody else say spiritual sequel, but it is more like just a sequel. But anyway,
dude, I think
liked
that's
it.
what it says on the freaking IMDb.
It does. It does.
You're like, I don't know who said it. Oh, IMDb did.
No, people said spiritual sequel. They didn't say like sequel, because it doesn't say Candyman 2 or anything. It just says Candyman.
Well, it's like The Suicide Squad versus Suicide Squad. It's a sequel. Everybody knows it's a sequel. But it's still just The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I guess.
Which I definitely recommend over Candyman 2021. It was so much more fun.
Oh, geez. There it is. You just have to keep jabbing. Jab.
Fine, Mike. Speaking of jabbing, let's get back to the theaters again next week, Mike, because there is another Marvel Cinematic movie that is coming out, and you know we can only watch those on the theaters.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it done, Matt.
So, Mike, we are going to go and watch Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
All right. Every time you say it, Matt, I want to hear it. Like that.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Dude, I'm looking forward to this one. I think it'll be fun. I mean, this is a completely different road for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, it's a hardcore action. I don't want to say karate film, but martial arts film. There we go.
Martial arts.
Yeah, I didn't want to say just like one particular martial art. It's going to be fun. I think it'll be cool seeing a big blockbuster martial arts film. I'm so used to watching the B movie martial art films, from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time since I've seen a really good martial arts movie. There's that one I always tell you about, which I always forget its name.
Bloodsport?
No, that came out within the last 10 years. That's just
Raid.
Completely epic. Yeah. That's it.
I haven't gotten to watch that yet still. Because it was on Netflix for a long time, and now it's not anymore.
That movie is unbelievable, man.
Yeah, and that was the dude that stars in that was in Mortal Kombat. He was the dude that played Sub-Zero.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. No, he was amazing.
Dude, he was. He's the only other person they've had to tell to slow down because the camera can't keep up with him. The only other person was Bruce Lee. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, he's... that movie, The Raid, was so good. And I just went and saw that in the theater, like, on a whim. And I was like, what is this?
Well, I did like the last Mortal Kombat. It was a pretty good martial arts movie. It wasn't fantastic, but it was still pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fun to see some of those characters come to life in a movie, and it was more like the video game that we grew up playing, and less like the original Mortal Kombat that just had a decent soundtrack.
Yeah. I really did like how close they stuck to the characters and the special moves, and that was fun. It was still cheesy as hell, but it was still a fun movie. I liked it. So, Shang-Chi, you have a lot to live up to.
All right, man. Let's see how Marvel continues to slay the theaters.
Well,
let's see if this one continues on.
I don't know, dude. They've been pretty pissy about what happened with Black Widow, so I don't know. We'll see. I mean, because Black Widow, it did the best out of just about any movie up to that point in COVID land. But now they're like it should have made more money, and now we're being sued by ScarJo, and I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've heard rumors that if Shang-Chi doesn't do well, that they're going to push back the Eternals, which that would suck.
Why would they push it back? To like redo scenes or something?
No, to push it back to like summer to try and, or push it back for COVID again to try and get more butts in the seats,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would suck because that just holds the whole like Marvel Cinematic train on hold.
Right. Like that's what happened with Black Widow. That's why all of a sudden we're getting Shang-Chi in September, and Eternals right now I think is scheduled for like December or January or something. I think it's December, right around like Christmas. And Eternals is going to be a completely different movie for Marvel too. Not as different as a hardcore martial arts movie, but it's still going to be pretty different because it's more mythical. It's a lot more along the lines of like Thor and stuff like that. So
yeah, well, that'll hopefully they still stick to the schedule and it'll be all good, man.
I hope so too, Mike. I hope so too. There's a lot of Marvel stuff coming out. You've been watching What If?
I have not.
What If is fun. It's really fun. I like it.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll start watching it. Get 2 seconds.
Yeah, but that's one of my favorite comics is What If, because it's all just like the zaniest ideas they've come out with. And, What If started in the 70s, I think, too.
All right. Great, man.
So it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. It's not as good as the other Marvel shows, but it's a lot of fun. So, all right, Mike, we'll do your thing.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And make sure to follow us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And we'll catch you next week. We're reviewing Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings.
Good job, Mike. You got it.
I don't have the ring that you do to it, but anyway, it's okay. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for listening once again, and make sure you go out there and stream a movie or watch a movie, and catch us next week.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
It's nothing short of a miracle. He made it. Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast in studio this morning on Magic 99.1. I'm not even going to ask how you're doing because I already know.
Oh, I just would like to apologize to all the police officers on Highway 69. The silver streak was not me, I swear.
Matt forgot his coffee and he texted me. He's like, I'm going to be late. I've got to go back for the coffee. I will not make it through the day without it. I totally get you, Matt. 100%. Yeah,
I will not make it.
No, you're tired.
I only do the one, but I do the one cup, and that's it.
Right. I usually do two. I've only had one today, and I feel okay.
You sure?
Yeah. You tell me. All right.
It seems like one large cup.
One large cup, possibly. Don't judge. All right. Let's talk about the movies. You went and saw the remake of the Candyman over the weekend. You saw it in theaters?
Yes. The only place you can see it is in the theaters. And yeah, it's more of a reimagining / sequel. It's a modern day kind of Candyman.
Okay. All right.
The world is loving it. It's made all kinds of money this weekend.
Yes,
I think it's number one at the box office. This is, I'm not everybody.
Right.
I don't understand why. I did not think it was great.
I told you that when I watched the first one.
The first one was great.
It was not
I love
great.
the original. From 1992, it was wonderful.
It was not great. It was bizarre.
Well, then now you need to go watch this, and you'll probably love this one.
I'm not gonna check it out.
Well, in my opinion, it's boring. Yeah. And it drags.
I thought the first one was boring and it dragged.
Oh, no. The first one was wonderful compared to this. There's a few scenes that are like really good and really intense, but overall, as a whole, I was not impressed. I was really kind of let down.
Aw, too bad. Well, like you said, the world is loving it. I mean, 8.3 for IMDb, 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, 80% of Google users liked the movie.
I can't recommend it. I can't. I'll be honest. I can't. Yeah. Even not being a horror movie fan, it was droll. It was very just.
Well, was it because was it so similar to the first one that you just knew what was going to happen?
No, it's a different story.
Okay.
I mean, there's things, it plays on the myth of Candyman and saying his name 5 times in the mirror.
Is it 5 or 3?
5.
Oh.
5 in this movie.
That's why it wasn't working for me.
Well, here, go. Look and do it a couple more.
I'm good. You really don't want to do that, huh? You won't go in the bathroom with me and say Candyman 5 times looking in the mirror.
Look at me. I'm scared.
I know you are. And you're twice my size. Come on.
Hey, is that a fat joke?
You really think no? You really think Candyman's going to come through the mirror?
No, definitely not.
Okay, now you got me a little scared. If you don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so how many reels are you going to give it?
I still feel I'm being gracious, but I give it like 2.5.
2.5. Well, yeah, that's 50%. I'd give it 2 if I was you.
You haven't even seen it, so you need to go see it, and now you can tell us.
Right, but I know how you grade movies.
Yeah,
and,
there's some things I like, but overall, I was really let down. I really expected more.
Right, okay.
The cinematography was wonderful.
All right.
The camera work was great. There's some, I'm not trying to ruin it, but there's some body, like skin, like things going on.
Nudity? There's nudity in the movie?
Oh, so much. My mom will be on to talk about it later.
Your mom probably loved it.
No, there was no nudity. No.
Oh, okay.
He has things going on his skin and his yes, from things
like
and
lesions,
that was really
like scabies.
Oh no, way worse.
Tattoos.
But, no. He was like he got like this bee sting in his hand, and it like morphed and started like taking over and scarring like his body and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And the makeup for it was
amazing.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I mean, it was very good. That was probably one of the scariest things was this like tiny little bee sting that turned into this just like body, like deforming scar kind of thing. And it was just, that was one of the freakiest, best parts of the whole movie.
Okay. All right. So you give it 2.5.
2.5.
And we're going to check in with Ma Henshaw and see what your mom thought about the movie. I can't talk this morning. I only get paid to do this. You have that effect on me, I think. Blah, 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 blah.
I have that effect on a lot of women. No.
All right, we're checking in with Ma Hinshaw. Coming up next on Magic. Good morning, Magic 99.1. Who's this?
Hi, this is Ma Hinshaw.
Good morning, Ma Hinshaw. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fine. It's nice and cool down here.
Oh, because you're calling from Sierra Vista, correct?
Correct.
Correct. And you
Yes.
listen to us live on magic991.com. Is that correct as well, Ma Hinshaw?
Yes, I think so.
Well, we know it's not over the air because we don't reach you in Sierra Vista. But I'm glad you called this morning because your one and only son just told us that he wasn't real crazy about Candyman. What did you think about the movie, Ma?
Oh, let me tell you. I personally really liked the first Candyman.
Okay.
I thought it was scary.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I'm a scary person at times. I watched
I can vouch for
Halloween
that.
and Friday the 13th and all of them.
Right.
But I was disappointed. To
No.
me, it was not that scary. It was, for one thing, it was too dark when they had the scary parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was dark, And the one part that I found very scary, which Matt would disagree with me, was the part in the girls' restroom.
In the
Oh, dear
in
me.
the girls' restroom. What happened, Ma? Can you?
Well, the girl gets locked in and
Oh.
she can't get out.
Yes, that is very scary. I agree with you 100%.
And also, what are they doing with a clean mirror in the high school or college girls' restroom? Never did they have clean mirrors.
Clean
I wouldn't
mirrors.
have kissed a mirror. Oh, no way.
Tell me, Ma, would you go into the bathroom and say Candyman 5 times in the mirror right now?
No.
No way.
No. Oh, no.
Matt won't either.
I think the end was really cool because I sat there and said, it's just a car mirror,
Yeah.
And that was kind of
Spoilers.
interesting, but
Spoilers.
on average, I would say I fell asleep 3 times. I'll be honest with you. My
I would
husband
too.
stayed awake.
But did he like it? How many sofa recliners is he giving
it? Was boring. And
How many
he
lazy
kept
boys?
trying to scare me.
He was trying to scare you.
I was watching the movie, and all of a sudden, something grabbed my ankle, and I didn't scream, but I jumped a lot.
Oh,
And
my
it was my husband. He has very long arms,
Yes, very long
down, grabbed my ankle, and I'm like,
I love it. I wish I could have been there, Ma Hinshaw. How many cookies are you giving it?
I'm really sorry because I know they tried, but remakes are pretty tough.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it a 2. I
2
think
cookies.
I just really it didn't ring my bell very
Okay,
much.
okay.
It was like, you know.
Yeah. And Matt said there was no nudity, which you really were disappointed about.
Oh, of course. Oh, my husband definitely. My husband's like, wait, what?
Right, I'm sure. Oh, it's always a pleasure to chat with you, Ma Hinshaw, in the morning. Thank you for calling and reviewing the movie for us.
Well, thank you. You're just a joy.
Aw.
Have a good day,
You
everyone.
as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Say goodbye to your mother.
Okay, bye, Ma.
Now, what are we going to be reviewing next week, Matt?
Next week, it's how much we love our Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Another Marvel movie.
Next week is another Marvel movie, although this is a martial arts Marvel movie. It's
Oh.
completely different
Okay.
than just about anything they've done up to this point. It's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of another movie I will not see.
Of course not.
All right. You
I
guys-
figured you would have seen Candyman because it was
Yeah.
about candy, right?
Well, yeah, no, I've already seen it. Saw the first one. Check out the podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. Matt, thank you. And thank your mom for joining us on what station?
The magnificent Magic 99.1.
Nice job.